This is part 27 of Breath of the Wild, and in this part we're going to be battling a few enemies around the Moor Garrison Ruins. We're going to meet up with another Zora. I forgot what species for a second. Another Zora named Ledo, who is also going to encourage us to go meet Prince Sidon. And at the end of the last part, we started mentioning an article that we have up on our website here the last couple days about maybe what adding the Majora's Mask game and the side quests that could come along with it could do for Breath of the Wild. So, Hick, if you want to expand on that a little bit since we ran out of time, I'll let you take control here.
And since you haven't seen the video or the article also, you really don't know what it's about. But anyways, like we kind of, by the way, kind of just to plug our website, what we're doing with our website now on the main page is kind of like doing Zelda news, cool videos, some shopping items. So as a shameless or shameful plug, I guess. Not shameless. Shameful plug. Go check out our website. It's got a lot of cool stuff. But what Red was saying, there's this video on like the Majora's Mask DLC and what they could kind of do in the game. I'm not sure who it's by. I got the credit in the article. But it's kind of interesting because he was kind of talking about, is it a replica or is it the same Majora's Mask that we actually got, in Majora's Mask? And then also, like, would it have any powers at all, like, would it scare enemies or whatever, or would it kind of just be for looks? And then one thing that I found very interesting was, like, if you get Majora's Mask or about the DLC, could it possibly add side quests to get other masks that we found in Majora's Mask, maybe even all of them, which I don't think will happen.
That'd be a lot.
But, like, if they did add all the masks, like, from Majora's Mask, and, like, had side quests for all of them, that would add a ton of replayability to Breath of the Wild.
And that's one thing that we've always praised Majora's Mask for is the side quests and side characters that you go through to obtain the masks are some of the strong, in my opinion anyway, some of the strongest in the entire Zelda series. And I think if we were to incorporate that same level of detail in side quests, whether or not it's for, like you said, the masks that were in the previous game, or whatever the rewards might be, just something else to give us an incentive to do side quests other than, rupees or whatever, I think it would just add just so much more exploration. And like you said, replayability to Breath of the Wild. And that's kind of how we got on this whole point to begin with was, we'd like to see the empty space in this game get utilized a little better. And by adding a ton of side quests like Majora's Mask had, it would be a great use of the game world they've already created.
Well, that's the cool thing with Breath of the Wild. It's really the first Zelda game. I mean, there's some like other DLC we got for certain Zelda games or spin-offs. But it's like that first Zelda game where you can actually, have DLC that can add replayability to the game. I'm kind of curious to see, there's great potential there because they're selling some of these for like $20, maybe more, like down the road. So I'm kind of curious, are they going to be kind of like, gimmicky, not really a lot to them, not worth the money, or are they going to put the time into it and like really increase the replayability of Breath of the Wild, add some stuff after you beat the game, and with nothing else on the Switch, I don't care what anybody says, there's no other good games on the Switch. We already had Mario Kart, so whatever. But with no new games on the Switch, they really need to capitalize on this DLC and add that replayability to the game.
And I think that's something that they did so well with the Mario Kart when it was on the Wii U is over time they released 2 additional DLC with the additional tracks, additional racers that just gave some new legs to the game. So if they did something like that for Breath of the Wild, I think it'd be awesome. Now, to kind of focus a little bit on what we're actually doing here, I learned the hard way that I really should not have rested before trying to get to this shrine because when it is raining, it becomes very, very difficult to get into this shrine because you have to burn away some thorns that are around the entrance, and you can't do that when it's storming like this. So by resting and letting it turn into a thunderstorm here, it just made it really, really hard for me to get into this shrine, and you're going to see me struggle for a few minutes here.
Red, are you actually sure that you can burn the thorns to get into that shrine? Because I don't remember being able to do that because I think I tried.
That's how I eventually got in there.
So. Oh, okay. Well, I thought I tried that, so it must have been raining when I tried to do it too. I think what I did was I got to a high area, and I think I sailed or floated or glided, I guess would be the right word in this situation. Glider, I glided all the way down there, and that's how I got to the shrine. So I had no idea you could do that, but you're going to hear us complain about it a lot throughout the game. The rain once again. It's just too unrealistic. There's no way it lightnings that much that quickly and that gets close to us that many times, even when we don't have metal on us. So just one of those things. It was too frequent. It happened too much lightning, and it'll be a pain throughout the entire game.
And there are too many downsides to thunderstorms like this. Like you mentioned getting struck with the lightning, which at this point in the game pretty much one shot kills you. But it also, if it doesn't kill you, it makes you drop whatever metallic weapons you're carrying, like you happen to have equipped at the time.
Like the Hylian shield.
Whatever. Yeah, you don't
go ahead.
That one. But also, like anytime it rains, whether it's lightning,
Sure. I'm not the English guy in this group, Red. Okay, I expect you to know these things.
But even if it's like not a storm, it's just rain. It makes it impossible to climb any surfaces, or almost impossible. Plus, it puts out your campfires and your cooking pot fires. So at first, I thought like the breaking weapons would be my #1 complaint in this game. But as we've gone on, that has been less and less of an issue. It really is just the rain that's way too frequent, like you said, is just my #1 complaint with Breath of the Wild.
Well, it'd been okay, like, I mean, because we do get an outfit later on, or you can get an outfit later on that kind of helps you from not getting struck by lightning. But the one thing that made me, like, upset, and it did everybody else, was the climbing. Like, we couldn't climb, and like I said, we mentioned this before, but you couldn't climb, and it's one thing with, like, Breath of the Wild, and maybe the DLC will correct this, but there should have been something in Breath of the Wild that allowed us to climb, like, the rocks or cliffs, mountains, whatever, when it rained. And why they didn't put that in there, I don't know, but hopefully that is something that comes with the DLC.
And that's what I thought, maybe, because there is a set of armor that is an improved climbing armor that we'll get the components of it later on. Actually, we'll get one of them fairly soon here in the next okay, I don't know what part, but
I don't have a clue either, so
but and I would have thought, thinking ahead a little bit here, if you upgrade your armor a couple of times and you wear a matching set of like your headgear, your body gear, and your leg gear, then you get an added bonus for some of the armor. So I really wish the climbing armor would have given you a bonus that lets you like climb even when it's wet surfaces or when it's raining. So I think that's something that would have been a really great addition as like the item set bonus for the climbing armor.
It's really funny, like these first two parts, like we kind of been talking about a little bit what's going on in the video, but we also kind of haven't. We're like, once again, like we're just going to hit parts like that where we're really just going to go off on tangents and just really talk about whatever as you kind of, like you said, kind of like make your way, run around this shrine.
Oh, it's bad.
Basically waiting for the rain to end, which, like, that's the other thing, like, it doesn't last long, but it feels like it lasts very long in this game because, you want to keep on moving. You want to keep on doing stuff. And even if you don't have to sit there and wait for, I don't know, maybe it rains for 5, maybe 10 minutes. Like, that's a long time. Like, I have one kid. I got another on the way. Like, I got a kid. Like, I don't have time to sit here and wait for it to quit raining, like, for 10 minutes in a video game.
Well, and for me, because I'm recording this for our YouTube page, of course, and for our website, I don't want to just stand there for 5 minutes in the middle of a recording waiting for the rain to stop. And I know we can edit that out, which we actually do a little bit in Twilight Princess, in our Twilight Princess videos when we're waiting for it to go from like daytime to nighttime.
To get the pose.
Yeah, but in this game, there's so much to do that just standing here waiting for it to quit raining, I didn't really want to do that.
I agree.
I guess I could have, and we could have edited it out, but that makes for more work for you when you're editing the videos, for one thing.
Definitely.
Plus, it's just, there's so much to do in this game. I don't want to stand there.
There's 900 Koroks. You should never be standing in one place in Breath of the Wild at all. But I guess I really don't know what else to talk about because we've basically just been circling this shrine right here for the longest time. And
here's where you see me try to burn it with the fire arrow. And unfortunately, I only had one fire arrow at this point in the game. And the rain quickly put it out. But because later on, I think it's in the next part, it quits raining and I come back and realize I'm out of fire arrows and have no way to light that stuff on fire.
I might actually try to use the bombs on that right there because I'm looking at it. I remember this shrine. And I remember trying to light it or blow it up somehow.
Yep.
And I just remember, I recall, I'm pretty sure I tried to I didn't go up on one of those pillars because I know that doesn't work. I believe you might try it, maybe.
I do try and I come up short.
But I think I went on a rock platform or something and made it there that way. And for some reason I want to say that I tried fire, but maybe I tried to use bombs and blow it up that way, thinking they had that fiery explosion. Then remember that in this game they have that weird Sheikah explosion, which
we hate.
What's a disappointment? There should have been some kind of bomb upgrade, or to where you could actually buy real bombs in the game. Maybe not like a rune, maybe like an actual bomb item, or
bomb flowers throughout the game.
Yeah, something like that. Like that was something that was really missing for this game.
I'm just ticked off that I drowned there because I thought I was on the rock. I thought I was there.
You were close a couple times.
Yeah, but this will go ahead and wrap up part 27 of our Breath of the Wild video series.